Hello and welcome back to that Tech Enthusiast Podcast. I'm your host, TheAlienDoctor, and today we're going to be talking about the latest tech news for the 22nd of October. Oh, that's when this is recorded and hopefully when it'll be released as well. Okay, so to start things off, obviously, Black Friday is coming up in roughly a week's time, and yeah, there are a lot of Black Friday things, news articles, so it took a little bit longer than normal because I had to scroll past all of the Black Friday things. However, there is one Black Friday thing that I do want to talk about because it's made me quite excited, and this is also somewhat indirectly related, to my custom PC that I'm going to be building. And it is that the Samsung's best SSDs are now cheaper than ever on Amazon for Black Friday. And I am so tempted to buy one because these are NVMe SSDs. They're 1 terabyte. If I buy it, it means that I will still have a working laptop afterwards, which could be a good thing. So the 1 terabyte version has chopped down to £120, and the 500 gigabyte version is at £70. And if we look here, so the RRP of the Samsung 970 Evo Plus 1 terabyte PCIe NVMe M.2 internal solid state drive. I've just read that name completely off the Amazon listing. As you can see here, its RRP is £239.99. Right now, it's in a deal for £119, so you'd save £120, which is 50%. This actually does look like a really good deal. I don't think there's a deal on the 2 terabyte version, or maybe there is then. No, because this is just the Amazon price, isn't the deal price. And then, so yeah, 239 down for 119 for the 1 terabyte version, and then on the 500 gigs, it's now £69.99, which is actually pretty good. These are Samsung's best SSDs as far as I'm aware. It's sequential read/write speeds up to 3,500. Sequential read speed of 3,500 megabytes a second, and then sequential write speed of 3,300 megabytes a second, respectively. Performance varies based on system, hardware, and configuration. NVMe PCIe Gen 3.0 times 4. Designed for tech enthusiasts, hardcore gamers, and professionals who need unrivaled performance. So yeah, this is interesting. And I am so tempted to buy one as opposed to just using the SSD I put in my laptop a while ago, because this is faster for a start. And it's going to mean that I'm going to have to wait a little bit longer for my PC to be finished. However, I might do it. I'm really not sure. I might have to make a straw poll. I might have to make a straw poll because it's very tempting. But anyway, moving on from that, we're actually going to talk about Nvidia, because they have actually managed to find a way around Apple's app restrictions by launching their GeForce Now streaming or game streaming service as a Safari web app, which is something I didn't even know you could do. But there you go. So GeForce Now is essentially Nvidia's way of letting you stream your games, a little bit like Google Stadia, which I've talked about before, and other stuff like that. I can't think of any examples right now because that's what happens. But when I record stuff, I just, forget everything. But, this looks interesting because Apple have a lot of app restrictions on their if you want their app to be put, or a app to be put on the App Store, and just apps to be on iOS in general. Obviously, there's been the entire thing about Epic versus Fortnite. No, not Epic versus Fortnite. Epic made Fortnite. Epic versus Apple, with obviously some of the Fortnite app restrictions, because there's lots of things that you're not allowed to do. I was actually listening to the One Show podcast a while ago, and Luke, who's on there, who is also, I don't know what his role is in creating the float plane app, but yeah, the LTT app, or LMG, I guess, float plane app is essentially like another YouTube, except for it isn't for people to grow. It's more just so that people can have like their videos on there and stuff. Anyway, I'm not going to get into what float plane is, but he was saying it took a while to get a beta version of the float plane app onto the App Store because of all of these app restrictions and just annoying things. In fact, a little tip for you: if you want to go and buy, I think, Netflix and I imagine other stuff, it's actually cheaper to do it on a non-Apple device, believe it or not. So if you can, I would recommend not buying it. Or I think it's just iOS. I don't think it is on macOS. That's inconvenient. My monitor's just turned off. My square monitor. Well, RIP monitor. Let's see if I can salvage this recording. Okay, cool. I managed to drag OBS to my main screen. Right. But yeah, anyway. So yeah, it's been pretty interesting. This is like an interesting way past it, if you ask me. I don't know how it works, but yeah, the web app currently requires users to have a gamepad connected through touch support in games like Fortnite is expected to arrive shortly. So you have to use a controller. According to this, mouse and keyboard will not work at all, ever, and touch support for some games will get added. But it's unlikely that keyboard and mouse support will be added. And yeah, this looks pretty interesting. Let's see. So yeah, that's pretty much all there is. All the information there is on that. This means that obviously you can use GeForce Now on iPhone and iPad. Because obviously, like, you're not going to be able to. Obviously, there are a lot of games that you probably, I imagine, you can't get on the App Store due to the restrictions, like Fortnite. And so, this article has speculated that the web app is likely to be able to bring back Fortnite. If you're really interested in that. So, yeah. So, speaking of gaming stuff, we're going to talk a bit about Valve, who are the people that make Steam. It's saying a growing number of people are playing Steam games with a controller, which is interesting. So, Steam is obviously the app which you get on Windows and Mac, and I'm pretty sure you can also get it on Linux. I actually am not sure. But yeah, and it is essentially one of the biggest game launchers / libraries that I'm aware of. You know, there's a lot of various different stuff and things on Steam. I have a few Steam games. You know, a lot of games are on Steam. But yeah. And basically Valve have said, because this is only available on devices with keyboard and mouse control, although I think you can get it on... No, there is another thing you can get it on. I believe you can get it on some sort of TV. Hang on, I'll check that in a second. I'm just trying to access it to see if I can. But yeah, so it isn't available on Linux. it is available on macOS, and it is also available on, what's this? Wait, no, that is a, wait, so what's this? Okay, so no, never mind. I believe Steam is available on Linux then. So yeah, it's basically the best way to play a lot of games if they're on there with multiplayer and stuff like that. If you're interested in games and stuff, there are a lot of games on there. You've probably all heard of it. I don't know why I'm still talking about it at this point. But yeah, and the main reason I want to talk about it is because Steam games, most 60% is estimated of people are actually playing Steam games with a controller. And yes, Steam is available for all major Linux distributions, it says right here. So, yeah, interesting. So, yeah, Valve are like, well, hey, 60% of people are actually playing with controller, so yeah, I don't, because obviously, I quite a lot see memes about, I'm assuming PC gamers have created about like controller and things like that, but then it turns out that most people are actually playing on controller, so I don't know. So some games such as skateboarding games have well over 90% of their plays using controllers in game. I guess that kind of makes sense. And it turns out that growth in controller usage has been even higher among us players using PlayStation controllers, which has grown in the past 2 years from 10.9% of controller PlayStation to 21.6% of all controller sessions across Steam. So I think what's that saying is that, can you even play Among Us with a controller? I don't think you can. But yeah, that's really interesting that that's a thing you can do. Okay, so you can't actually play Among Us with a controller. Does not support it natively. However, if you were to play on BlueStacks, which is an Android emulator, then it has a controller support feature thing which will allow you to use controller. So yeah, on Steam, it does not have controller support, apparently, according to whatever I just read. So yeah, this is really interesting. And also, Valve's announcement signals the use of DualSense for some games on Steam. Valve said the support for LED trackpad rumble and gyro features for players to configure in games such as Death Stranding, No Man's Sky, and Horizon Zero Dawn. So that is obviously the new PS5 controller. It's DualSense, I believe. That's its name. I think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure DualSense is the name of the PS5 controller. And yeah, I mean, like, that is really interesting and just surprising, you know. I imagine a lot of people were not aware of that. I know I wasn't aware of it until just now. And, I mean, yeah. So yeah, that surprised me quite a lot, if I'm being honest, that there is controller support. Not controller support. I knew there was controller support. It surprised me that people are using controllers in Steam games. Yesterday, the Steam client beta was updated to add rumble over Bluetooth for DualSense to add reduced rumble intensity for the DualSense and allowing external audio-based haptics. While rumble is enabled on the DualSense, the hope is, of course, that eventually support for DualSense adaptive triggers will be added. Okay, that was... So yeah, basically Steam have updated to allow support for DualSense controller, which I believe is the PS5 controller, if I remember correctly. Yes, it is. Look, it's the PS5 controller. Which does look really cool, by the way. I do actually really like this design here and just the way it looks. And we do plan on getting a PS5 as well. So hopefully I'll be able to give my thoughts on the PS5 and its controller. These buttons look a little bit more further apart than normal. I'm not sure if I like the fact that this X button is, oh, not X button, whatever. I guess it is sort of the cross, the X, whatever you want to call it. I'm not sure if I like it being down here. I think I prefer it a little bit more up here. PS5 DualSense 21 Things You Didn't Know. Uploaded by PlayStation Grenade, 17th of April 2020. But yeah, there's also a black version, I think. Unless this is just fan-made, I'm actually not sure whether this is, but it does look good in black. I really am not a fan. Whilst we're on this topic, we might as well just talk about it. I'm really not a fan of the PS5. I would much prefer it to be black than white. I just, the white looks, it stands out too much. What is that? Okay, that is definitely not what the PS5 looked like. I remember, actually, with these leaks. But yeah, here's the actual PS5. So, I don't like the look of this. It looks so much like an Alienware PC. Like, that's just what and I did hear it said somewhere, I will admit. And that's probably planted the idea in my head, but still, it is very much reminding me of an Alienware PC. Let's see. Yeah, like, look at this. Very, very similar, if you ask me. If we go back one, there's a better photo. Like, yeah, these Alienware PCs do very much look like like the PS5. They were, well, not necessarily like the PS5, but they remind me of the PS5. Yeah, that's all I've really got to say on that. It's just, it's interesting. Whereas obviously Xbox's approach is a lot more like the Xbox Series approach looks a lot more like a mini ITX PC build or micro ITX PC build. I actually know Mini Fearful, who has been on the podcast a few times, actually has one, and he has sent me photos of it and stuff, like up against his hand, so you can see the size comparison. And yeah, it looks interesting. I probably would prefer PS5, but unfortunately my dad and my brother prefer I'd prefer an Xbox, but unfortunately my dad and my brother would prefer PS5, so yeah, we're getting one. We might actually be getting two, because we already have two PS4s. But yeah, we're going to trade in those two PS4s, because PS4 Pro and PS4. But anyway, pretty sure I've talked about that before. And last but not least, we haven't talked about leaks and leaked things for a while, so that's what we're going to do. So we're going to talk about the Samsung Galaxy S21, because there have been some leaked designs revealing potentially all three models with a really interesting looking display. So dummy units of the Galaxy S20, Galaxy S21, S21 Plus and S21 Ultra have been leaked. It looks very, very cool. I'll show a photo of it on screen. It looks very, very fancy. I like the look of it. Because look, this screen basically looks like it can tilt. So anyway, let's actually read this this thingy. What's it called? Article. So a new Samsung Galaxy S21 leak has revealed what Samsung's next generation smartphone could look like. Continuing with their near daily slew of Galaxy S21 leaks, Ice Universe has tweeted images of the dummy units, giving us a first look at what the Galaxy S21 could look like in the real world. This builds on the S21 renders we've seen recently. Very, very cool things, because it looks like the Oh, Galaxy S21. So somebody's tweeted the Galaxy S21 Ultra screen will refresh multiple records, which is interesting. But yeah, look at this screen. Like, let's just admire this screen for a second, and the way it almost is bending. It almost looks like this screen. You know, you can like push it back in and like pop it out and things like that. To a certain point, anyway. This does look like a very. If this is real, not fake, and obviously it's leaks. So if these leaks are actually correct, then this is going to be very, very, very interesting. And I'm a fan. From what I can see so far, I think I'm a fan. If we go back to here, so that you can see what I mean, like here, and how the screen is like popping out. I reckon you could like push it back in and like move it up and around, and obviously it might be a little bit hard to see if you're just listening. But yeah, it looks interesting. But yeah, that's really all I have to say on that. And actually, you know what? That's going to be the end of today's episode, because we have been running for 21 minutes and 10 seconds. So yeah, thank you for listening. I will hopefully see you later in the next episode, which will be coming out next Saturday, Sunday, or Monday, depending on when I have the time. Occasionally Fridays, but very rarely. So yeah, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. You can follow me on all my own socials, my own YouTube channel for even more content, although it's not tech content. And yeah, I'll see you later. Bye.